Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last video before the 2025 elections. Now, this video is a little more different than the other ones I made because the previous final prediction video was just about the governor's elections. But today we'll be covering the lieutenant governor election and the attorney general election in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This stands to be a very interesting topic because what the polls show is that, yes, Virginia can ticket split. It is what we know as a very nuanced state. At the federal level, it's definitely pretty liberal, but at the state level, it can go either way depending on what the environment is, candidate quality, etc. So this is more what this video is about. We have two down ballot elections, followed by the governor election, which I already covered, as well as the New Jersey one. But there are two down ballot elections in Virginia this year, called the lieutenant governor election and the attorney general election, which I'll be talking about more in depth. I think it'll be very interesting to see how it turns out. But we'll first start off with the lieutenant governor election. This is, as I explained earlier, between Democrat Ghazala Hashmi and Republican John Reed. I expect Ghazala Hashmi to win by a little around 5 to 6 points, similar to how Kamala Harris won the Commonwealth. We have some competitive territory to fill out, so I will give Hashmi the advantage in areas like Bradford and City of Radford, Montgomery County. I think she'll win James City. I think she'll do well in the Richmond area suburbs. I think this is her strong area because she is in the state senate. She represents the district from around here. So I think she has good name recognition, but also John Reed is also from Richmond. So I think this will be a good tinderbox for how this lieutenant governor election will play out. But I think that Democrats should be able to win this election. I think Ghazala Hashmi will underperform Abigail Spanberger. The question is about how much. I think it'll be around a few points. It won't be enough to get John Reed elected, but I think it'll be noticeable. So I think I'll give her the advantage in Chesterfield County and cities like Hopewell and Chesapeake. I think she'll do decent-ish in the Hampton Roads. I think she'll win Northampton County. And Sussex. That's also a competitive area. It's a little bit more bluer, but it's basically how I think. It's going to be hard to say who wins Virginia Beach. This is also another competitive part of the Commonwealth. Both parties, when they look to win Virginia, they look to do well in this area. Virginia Beach has supported Republicans, even though if they lose the statewide, just like past lieutenant governor elections like 2017. Maybe if John Reed does a good enough performance, he could win that area. But just because of the national environment, I'll narrowly give it to Ghazala Hashmi. But it would not shock me if John Reed won that area. I think that is about it. I think Republican John Reed will win places like Prince Edward County. I think he'll win Trump-flipped Lynchburg City, as well as Surrey County. This area is more of a coin flip. It'll go either way. And I think Stafford County is going to be very close. I wouldn't be surprised if Ghazala Hashmi won. However, Stafford does seem to lean Republican on a statewide level more than a national level, so I'll give him the narrow favorite in Stafford County. This is my final prediction for the lieutenant gubernatorial election in Virginia. Now let's move on to the more interesting election, which is the attorney general's race between Republican incumbent Jason Miyares and Democratic challenger Jay Jones. Now, why do I think this election is more interesting? Because I explained this more in the video specifically for this race, but I pretty much went into how Jason Miyares was running a close race regardless. However, he was probably going to lose just because of the down ballot. However, with that really got changed when Jay Jones had some really bad scandals of his. I don't really want to talk about it because it's really abhorrent what he said. I went more into detail in that video about what he said, but He hasn't done too well in campaign, and you can even look at the polling. Um, you see how Spanberger should be able to win. I think my prediction is that Virginia will ticket split, and it'll probably vote for Jason Miyares as the incumbent um, for the Attorney General's election. I don't think Real Clear is showing it. Maybe I can look it up. I don't think it's showing it, but the polls do show Jason Miyares on track to win in ticket split. I think that he will win a lot of these competitive areas. Um, I'd say I would give him because essentially Democrats have sort of not given up on this race because Republicans have outraised J. Jones in this election. And that's not a good sign. I think Republicans might be even spending more in this race than for Winsome Sears at the governor's election. So it kind of paints a picture that this election could still vote for Jay Jones. If Abigail Spanberger wins by more than 10 points, which I tend to think she doesn't, then Jay Jones winning is on the table. However, I think that he's going to fall short and the Republican incumbent will win re-election. I think Jason Miyares will have the edges. Places like Montgomery County, cities like Radford, Lynchburg. I think he will do better in the Hampton Roads. I think he'll win Virginia Beach and narrowly peel off Chesapeake. I think he'll win Northampton County, James City. I think he'll win Surrey County, Prince Edward, Stafford. I think he'll win that by a little bit more. And I think he'll narrowly win Chesterfield County. He's kind of trending Democrat, but I think he'll be able to win because Republicans need to do better with suburban voters and max out the rural turnout if they want to win, which I think Jason Miyares will end up doing. There are still some competitive areas. I think Jay Jones will end up winning. So this is basically how I see it. I think Jason Miyares will probably win by a little over a point, probably closer to a point and a half. I think Virginia will experience quite a bit of ticket splitting this year. So I thank you for watching, and I just hope that this election, my prediction is correct, but we'll see how it ages. Time will tell. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel, and have a good day.